Couple more things to go to wrap up these welcome videos. All files that you turn into me throughout the semester will be named as follows. You can pause this or we'll just jump to the question that it answers. I'm going to go ahead and put the answer in here before I read it. When turning in files in Steve's class, I will name them starting with my last name, then an underscore, then my first name, then an underscore, then a short description of the assignment, and finally the extension. And just in case you're not familiar with an underscore, that's what it looks like, and it is accomplished by typically hitting the shift key and the hyphen. So if a student in my class named Jane Doe were turning in a JPEG of her logo, it would be named like this: Doe, last name, underscore Jane, her first name, underscore logo, dot, and then the extension. Okay, and then if you're physically here, you'd put your name, signature, date, and this is especially true for online classes. If you would like to be called something other than your legal first name, like for example, if you were named Stephen and you preferred to be called Steve, you can now change that on the school's website. Okay, the last and the highest point count question on the quiz, and I'm not trying to insult anyone's intelligence here because this is going to be a repetition, but you probably heard me say it like 5 times throughout these videos that the important, or one of the most important things, is to go into Canvas and to look at announcements, to look at them when I'm going over them in class, ask questions on them. You'd be surprised how many times in the past I've done exactly the same repetition, even in video form, and I'll still get a student 3 weeks into the class saying, "Oh, I thought this was due, not that," when it's clearly documented in the announcement as to what is due. Before I show you the answer to the question, let me just demonstrate for you announcements. Doesn't matter which college or class. Once you're inside the home page over here on the left, you'll see all the links. You click on announcements. They stack up in here. Usually you'll see like a week 1 announcement that'll have important first day stuff on it. But then they start out with the word for, in for followed by the date. And then you just simply click here on the announcement to go inside of it. And there may be some information up on top here, which in today's environment would be the Zoom invite, which there'll be a link to the Zoom invite that takes place on this date. And there could be some notes down at the bottom. But one thing that is always present is the word due followed by exactly what is due. And I want to present that to you in class, either in class if we're meeting in person, or via Zoom, or via a weekly video. But this will be explained, and then I await your questions so that I can clarify anything that is not super obvious or clear to you. Okay, so I'm just going to put the answer announcements in here. Okay, so based on what I just showed you, each Canvas announcement is titled with for, meaning that that is the date that the items listed under the topic of due are due. It's also the date, if there's a Zoom meeting in there, that Zoom meeting will take place. A key takeaway from these welcome videos is the importance of checking Canvas announcements frequently and asking questions about the updates as they're given. And you will be notified of those either by email or online interaction such as Zoom, or in class if applicable. If you are not enrolled in a class that is meeting in a classroom, you can stop watching this video now. If you are with me in a classroom, then let me just show you a couple more things about the agreement sheet. If you're with me in class and you haven't changed your first name to the name that you want to be called, and you don't want me to call you what is on the official roll, you can go ahead and write that in here, and I'll change it on the roll that I make for the classroom. And then Finally, I like to make a Pandora radio station for the class based on your interests so that when we are working in class, you don't have to listen to what I consider to be good music. You all get to participate in a radio station, so to speak. And here's how that'll work. You will give me an appropriate artist. When I say artist, I mean the name of a band or a singer. You can't just say 80s music. Instead, you would have to think of the artist that is the best example of what you consider to be 80s music and give me that artist. Um, when I say appropriate, I mean think like you're going on a road trip with grandma and you're not going to subject her to music with nasty, foul language constantly being used in the lyrics. And also, the most complaints that I've ever received about the Pandora radio station is aggressive, as in fast, obnoxious music, like where the lead singer sounds like he's screaming and you can't understand a single word. So I would say, keep it on the mellower side of hard rock. And what happens is if you do play like an aggressive artist or a foul language artist, then I just give it thumbs down, and then before you know it, you're not represented. So I think no matter how aggressive of music you listen to, everybody has something that is appropriate that they like to kind of chill out or work to that grandma would approve of.